Hello and welcome to
Hey, we like your pod.
And we're going to tell you why. Hi, it's Dawn here, and I'm joined, as always, by my special guest. I'm sorry.
What?
Partner.
I'm a special guest. All right.
I'm so out of it tonight. Matt Pickett.
Oh, hi.
Partner and our special guest, Jasmine Meadows. It's great to see you, Jasmine. How are you? How was your week? What's up?
It is great to see you guys too. I am good. I was telling Matt before the show, I'm struggling with this time change. It's not my best. It's not. I always go into this like seasonal depression like mindset that I have to actively like stop. Like it hits me and then I go, it's because of the time change, and then I have to do things to make sure I don't like fall deep into it. So that was yesterday, and today was a little better. So we're getting there.
It's weird. I just feel tired. Like it's dark, and even though it's not cold here, I'm like wanting to just feel like bundling up and going to sleep at 5 o'clock.
Exactly.
This is why we need, regular holidays in November and December to give us like something to look forward to, the comfort and closeness of Thanksgiving, and then like the festivity that goes through all of December up until Christmas.
Right.
And not to be exclusionary about holidays, but just like culturally, there's lights, there's shopping, there's music. It's Christmas season, whether you celebrate it or not. And then you guys, January and February are terrible because all the lights are gone, all the festivity is gone. They are the worst months, and I stand by that. Ugh.
Well, I was born in February, so I can't stand by that one. But January is a rough month to get through.
It is.
It's like it's a crash just to come down after everything.
Exactly.
Yeah. I don't the holidays, I just don't do the holidays. I just hibernate and let everybody else do it because it's just too stressful.
It is a lot. It can be a lot, that's for sure.
The joys of being single and no kids. I don't have to do anything I don't want to. So hi, Cat. My cat's here. She's meowing at me and she wants me to play. So that's, I'm glad we talked about that because I'm feeling very different this week with that for sure. Yeah.
It's good to be self-aware of like how you're feeling. And I'm very self-aware. Like all the time I talk on my podcast, I'm very honest. And so I'll tell people and they're like, whoa, Jasmine, like what's happening? I'm like, I'm going to be honest with you. If you're going to ask me how I'm feeling, I'm not going to lie to you. Like I'm great. Because that it doesn't benefit anyone. And like everyone thinks they have to be great all the time. So I'm always very honest with where I am because lying to yourself doesn't help. So
it's a dumb question though, because people really do just want you to say I'm great.
Correct.
They don't really want to know. So why are you asking? That's my thing about that whole question. What do you think, Matt? Is it a dumb question?
No, it's not. I mean, here's the thing. It is and it isn't, right? We were talking in a big staff retreat today about, back up a step. So I'm like a middle management person, right? And it was a workshop, a day-long workshop retreat about how to be a better manager. We were talking about like if your direct reports, the people who report to you are kind of struggling. If you're like, hey, so like, how are you? You'll probably get like, oh, I'm fine, as the first one. But you kind of got to ask it like 3 times to like really get them to kind of like, open up a bit more. So, it's like the weird, social nicety to be like, how you doing? I'm good. Because, if you're like, how you doing? The person's like, man, let me tell you the stuff I'm dealing with. It's like, well, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to like invite you to dump on me. Sorry. So it's a weird thing. It's a weird thing.
Yes, I promise I don't dump too much. Like I just kind of give a very like blunt answer. And if you want to talk about it, like, let's have a conversation. But I'm not like, so listen, and then start like crying. People do that to me all the time. So I know that I can't. I'm like, no, because I don't like it. So I absolutely will not do it to anyone else.
Well, with me, it's particular because people, I'm talking about people who know me and know that I have a lot of health problems, right?
Mhm.
And they'll be like, how are you? And then you'll tell them. And then a week later, they'll be like, oh, I didn't know you were dealing with this. Like, what? They're not really listening. So
Correct.
I've kind of learned, it's kind of like, I don't think I'm going to tell people how I really am anymore. I'm just like, yeah, I don't want to talk about. And then I say, I don't really want to talk about my health. And then you'll get the ones that are like, I really want to know. And it's like, why?
It's a little weird. Yeah. It's
Why?
all a
You're going to
specific.
forget.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have to gauge it. You have to be very quick on your feet,
Yes.
understand who's in front of you, the type of person they
Uh-huh.
are, and answer accordingly, which is, I mean, that's
Right.
quick. It's quick thinking. It's
Yeah.
very
True.
in the moment,
True.
understanding like who you can have those conversations with. And
Yeah.
it's a learned
That
process.
rules out most people, I think. I mean, except my best friends and, people that I'm close with. So Pappy's in the conversation here in the chat. Hey, Pappy. Yes, we are feeling a little different knowing that Charles Adelson is not on the streets. We got a guilty verdict. That's one of my superlatives. So I'll just give you a sneak peek. Jasmine, I do a true crime channel as well, or true crime show on this channel on YouTube as well. And there was a trial that a lot of us have been waiting for a couple of years. And we got a guilty verdict on Monday. So
guilty verdict.
It was, I think a lot of people are super happy about it. There's more people from that family who are probably going to be arrested. And it's not something you can be happy about, 100%, because it doesn't really bring the person back, right? There's no real true justice. There's only a little measure of justice for his family. But yeah. And Matt might be middle management, but his hair is the CEO. Pappy loves
great
Matt.
hair. Great hair, Matt.
Thank you. Well, I have a question for Pappy about that for a second. If I may take a diversion here. Pappy, I'm thinking about going just everything off in the back and going kind of short on the sides, but keeping all the length on top.
Oh, I'm sitting here like this. Yeah. Don's like, no.
Don says no. I don't know what Pappy's going to say. So let us know in the comments there, Paps. Yeah. So Don, you're kind of in the same place as Jasmine this week and kind of struggling with the time change and everything like that. Is what you're saying?
I don't know if I'm struggling. I'm just sleepy and cold. I'm
Sure.
cold, even though it's warm out.
Even though you live in a tropical paradise, a seaside paradise. I mean, the seaside paradise.
Helen, hey, we're doing our football podcast tonight, and I love that you are checking in. It's so good to see you. Monday was crazy because I was supposed to go on Mentor Lawyer's channel, or that I shouldn't say supposed to, but we were banting around ideas. And then he ended up not going live at all. And he'd been live streaming the whole trial. And so he was down that day. He didn't live stream anything. So I threw up a live stream, and it was incredible to have everybody on this channel waiting for that verdict. And we're trying to think of things to do while we were waiting for the verdict. And we watched the cross over again. The closing arguments over again. And we didn't even get through those. And the jury came back with the verdict. And it was really chilling. I had goosebumps and chills. It's a very sobering kind of experience. But I was so glad that 400 of my best true crime friends were with me. And it was great. It was great. And Pappy says no. Pappy agrees. I don't love that shaved on the side of the head look. That's so popular that it's so military. I'm just, what do you think?
Go full shave. It'd be very close, but it wouldn't be shaved per se. So,
definitely. Okay,
think
close.
About it.
I mean, it's that would be nice because it would show off your facial features a little bit more, but I don't know.
You have to have photo references. Anytime I'm gonna cut my hair, do anything.
I was thinking that
with the hair, I always have photo references, and I look at it, and then I have people look at it. I'm like, look at me. Can you see it? So that'll kind of help because again, you have to see what length. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And see if you can make that work.
Well, what is your reason for wanting to cut it? Is it just want to change in your look, or you want to look more contemporary?
So when it's this long, I usually just get a haircut with everything, take it back a lot. So there's still a little bit of length on top, but otherwise pretty much short all around. But this time I was like, you know what? I like how it's looking on top, so maybe I just want to keep that, but everything else needs to like go because it's all mullety in the back. You can only see it on the camera here, but like I don't like how it looks.
Yeah,
in the
we
back.
don't like mullets.
No.
Well, Helen says she's a hairstylist. Do it. Hairstylist says do it. Thank you.
Yeah,
She
do
says
it
keep the
too.
top.
So it's a tie.
How you
Matt.
feel? Yeah, how you feeling about how close he should go on the sides, Helen? We're gonna get this figured out.
So this is what we're
And
talking
Helen,
about tonight.
Pappy's concerned. Don't make Maddie change his beautiful locks of gold. We love his locks of gold.
Hilarious.
Pappy's always here with Matt's son. Yeah. So how close? How do you feel about this shaved on the side thing that all the men are doing? I don't know. You like that, Jasmine? You like that shaved on the side?
I mean,
part?
it depends. For me, it's just like whatever goes well with your face shape.
Right.
True,
Like
true,
I
true,
just
true.
like if I see a guy, I'm like, oh, I like your hair. You know what I mean? I don't know if I'm like necessarily looking for guys to have the shaved like on the side or anything like that. But if I see it, I'm like, oh, that actually looks really nice on you. Or
Okay, where do you want it cut short? Where do you want it to stop? Or is it going to be like a wedge?
Well, let's see here. Kind of like
you definitely have to keep the top part.
like
You have great hair.
here would be, above would be the same,
Yeah.
and kind of the same here. It's like once the stuff on the side, that's kind of more that I try to just like take backwards because it poofs out otherwise. I don't like that. So yeah, kind of like everything that's
Okay.
curly on top would be keep all of that.
Okay,
Basically.
Pappy, he's going to keep the top. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I say
All
yes.
right.
Helen says yes. So
There you go.
She says yes. Yeah,
All right.
I'll approve. I'll approve as long as it doesn't look too shavy and too much
No.
like a faux hawk or whatever they call it.
Yeah.
Is
No.
Yeah, I don't. I don't want you to
None of
do
that.
faux.
No. So I can't tell you guys about my week. I've been having an incredible week. Okay.
yes.
Okay.
So Sunday, Packers win, snapping the 4-game losing streak. Obviously, that was amazing. Monday, nothing. It was Monday. Tuesday, Ohio did some good stuff with the voting. So, like, I don't want to make this into a political podcast. I'll just say that personally, I was very happy with the outcome. And then Wednesday, excuse me, was my birthday. Had a great day. There was donuts. There was burgers. There was a lot of really nice messages from people across various social media platforms. And
Except your
some really.
podcast part.
I was wondering, Dawn, but and, some like cute presents my kids made. My mom got me, or my wife. That was weird, Freud. Got me some good stuff too. Woof. It's there because I said my kids. It's their mom. We'll go with that. So anyhow,
Right.
Got it.
so yeah, it was a really delightful day. And then at the end, a
Aww.
couple of folks came over and had cake with us. It was just a super nice day. I actually took the morning off at work. But what I did is I got 2 dozen donuts from my favorite donut place, brought them to work so people could start having donuts early. But I had the half day off, right? So I sat in my office and I watched a movie while people were coming and get donuts and stuff. So it was excellent. It's like I'm here, but I'm not doing any work. I'm watching
I'm here,
movie.
but I'm not here.
Mm-hmm.
But I have donuts.
It was a good time.
But I have donuts. That sounds perfect,
And then
man.
And then today, of course, being here with both of you is excellent. And I had that work retreat all day for middle management stuff, which was a lot of fun. I did a lot of the planning going into it, like help to put it together. And so happy with that one. And then tomorrow, Veterans Day, think a veteran or whatever, and we have the day off. So it's been a great week.
Nice week
That's
for
amazing.
Maddie. The win, starting out with the win on Sunday.
Mhm.
Yeah, I love it. I
God.
love it. So apart
Yeah.
from the darkness, Jasmine, anything exciting or fun this week, or not really? Not just an ordinary week.
Just an ordinary week. Just I procrastinate a lot, so I had a lot of stuff to do today that was due tomorrow, but I got everything done, and it's always
Good.
rewarding. I do wish I didn't procrastinate so much, but you know what? I still get things done, so that's why I still
Right.
But it's fine. So I did all that, but that means I have my Friday to do whatever I want, and I think tomorrow I'm going to deep clean my fridge before I go grocery shopping, which I know sounds like not fun, but I feel like it's gonna really make me happy. And then I might decorate for Christmas.
Oh wow.
Sure.
Trying to find,
Yeah.
trying to find joy.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
I find joy when things are really clean and organized. And I'm not a procrastinator, but I will say the last year-ish, maybe 2, probably since I'm in so much more, since really COVID started the whole thing, but it's getting more and more. I keep taking on more projects. Like they're not big. Some of them are a little big, but then I get another idea and then I start doing that one. And so I'm just looking forward to, through the end of the year, finishing all the projects I started, because most of them are like 90%. But I'm really a highly creative person. And so sometimes I just feel like I can't stand it. I have to just start the next thing because it's so, it's such a strong urge to do it.
I do the same thing.
Oh, so it's okay. It's okay. But as long as you get them done, because I know some people who never get things done, like they'll start and then they don't finish. And that has to be painful, really. I mean,
yeah, I don't finish a lot of my stuff.
Oh, I thought you said you did.
I start them and then I go,
You didn't really want to do it anyway. Yeah. Well,
exactly. So I'm like, I know that it wasn't as important as like something that I needed to do. But it's always there. And then, when I finish it, whenever I choose to, whenever the mood strikes me.
Right.
I'll finish it. And then I'll be like, oh my gosh, how exciting. It's fine.
Okay, so 24 donuts, screw diabetes. That's right.
Yeah, I didn't eat them all myself.
No.
Let's be clear about that.
Sometimes I wonder about, because donuts are good. Like, what's your favorite donut, Matt?
Ooh, let's talk about that. So my favorite singular donut at any place in the world happens to be in Chicago, where I lived for 6 years. There's a place called Do Right Donuts. Do Right Donuts. They have a glazed buttermilk old fashioned that will knock your socks straight off. It is crispy on the outside. It is, soft and awesome on the inside, and it's not too sweet like a lot of like glazed donuts, like the kind of thing like it's like hurts your teeth. It's just like the perfect amount sweet. And just like it's almost always warm because they make their donuts like on a rotating basis. And it's popular for people to take them off the shelf right away. And it's so good.
So now I need a donut.
I love donuts so much, you guys. It's in my Twitter, Dawn. Donuts are mentioned. Yes. And locally in Cincinnati, there's a place called Holtman's that's very good. But my favorite, like, kind of a donut is like a custard filled chocolate top kind of a thing, like a Bavarian cream or like a Long John with custard. That's my favorite.
Yeah.
Dawn, do you like donuts?
Well, this is interesting. So when I was in Wisconsin last month for the game, Katie and I were driving up, and we had to stop at Quick Trip and do the thing, and she got a donut, and I eat. I just don't normally eat like that, but so I grabbed what I thought was a custard-filled eclair, and I took a bite, and I was like, "Oh my gosh!" Because I'm vegan. It was like lardish, like I could just. I'm not normally eating that kind of food, so I don't eat because they're made with like animal fat, evidently, and it didn't have custard inside. It was like some kind of creamy thing, and I was just like, but I do like a cake donut. The cake donuts, like just a plain cake donut with a nice dark chocolate kind of simple. Yeah,
it's delicious.
But yeah, I couldn't handle the. Yeah, and Boston cream is good. Oh, jelly or glaze. Oh, Helen and Pappy are talking. Helen says jelly filled. Yeah, back in the day, I would like a raspberry filled with the not powdered sugar, but the sugar on top. Though that would be nice, like a raspberry jelly.
Oh yeah,
I can't do filled donuts. I don't know. What it is. Like I mean, I'm sure I could. I just don't prefer them. I like the maple.
Yeah,
like
what is your favorite?
Bar,
yeah,
like the maple bar or tire looking, the one that you were talking about, how it's like the crunchy on the outside and then like the soft on the inside. I don't know names of things. I just like go into a donut shop. I'm like, that is the one I want. Hi, Karen.
It looks like a tire. It looks like a tire.
It literally looks like a tire. Or you can do like the glazed twist. Like it's really what like speaks to me in the moment. But I do love a good donut. I want my wedding cake to be a bunch of donuts.
Ooh, I went to a wedding that was like that. It made me so happy. So
like
your wedding cake was like that?
No, he went to one.
I went to a wedding.
Oh, I thought you froze. Oh, sorry. I thought you froze.
So No, Jasmine, so you'll appreciate this, right? A while back, Food and Wine magazine did like a best donut in every state, and the one from Ohio was this thing called a clunker that was made by a bakery less than a mile from me. That sadly is no longer in business. Very, very sad. But it's basically like a ball of fried dough about as big as your fist. Fried dough, glaze. Here you go. They're always weird shapes and like so delicious because it's all crunchy that side and all soft like all through the middle. Oh, so good.
Love a good donut. I
So
really
is it-
like. See, this is the issue. I might have to like make donuts now. Like
Yes.
this is
Yeah,
what happens
yeah.
with my brain. Like, that's how I.
Yep.
That's how I cook most of my meals. I'm like, I'm really hungry. What am I
Mhm.
craving? And I'm like, can I make this? Probably not, but will I
course you
try?
can.
Absolutely.
Might as well try. Donut
I have
to
a
try.
I have a donut machine, by the way, like a donut, like a
Yeah.
mini donut maker.
Yeah.
Like,
Have you
donut
tried it
person.
yet?
I did. It was
Yeah.
not bad, to be honest with you. Like for my first
Mhm.
time just making it. So I might do that again tomorrow.
Do it.
I think Quick Trip uses like Crisco type of lardy stuff to cook their donut. Okay, so are you a Krispy Kreme? Is that where you get your donuts, Jasmine? Krispy Kreme? No, you don't like
in LA,
Krispy
we
Kreme.
got donut shops on every corner.
Yeah, now
It's just like
we do down
random
here too.
donut shops. So it's just
Yeah.
like
We have
Sounds like
like
heaven.
artisan ones that have been here forever, where all the surfer guys go for donuts after they surf. Like there's just
Mhm.
all these 50s donuts, but then there's all these. My friend has a gourmet donut shop. I'll have to send you pictures. I mean, they're works of art, and oh my god! And it's only I go by it every Wednesday when I do my farmers market.
and you
I
don't get
mean,
one. I would get one every single Wednesday.
Seriously, me too.
Yeah,
Veer off real quick.
she has
John, get some
one.
pictures. Post them on our Twitter so people can see them later. Okay. Make
I
sure to do
will. They're
that.
beautiful.
Yeah.
I think they're on my Instagram, but one of them is that my friend likes to get is a maple glaze with crumbled bacon.
Yep.
Yes.
I knew you were gonna say bacon. I knew you were gonna say it. Oh god, it's so
double
good.
lovely.
It's
Yep.
so
Mhm.
good. So good.
So we're here talking about donuts,
Donuts.
football,
They're the best thing
whatever.
ever.
True
Donuts
crime.
are just I actually have a place out here. It's a black-owned business that I found in the pandemic that did deliveries, and it was vegan, keto, and paleo donuts. And I'm neither
Nice.
one of those things. But I was like, I'm gonna support some black-owned business, and it's a
Right,
small
right,
business.
right.
I got it. I was like, send that over here. Send it over. They were
How were
so
they?
good.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Like so, and I honestly couldn't tell you which one was which because I just was like, sure, I'll take because I'm not any of those things. So like it wouldn't. I have no idea. But they were so good, like down to like the frosting and the
Wow.
decorations, and they were real pretty with it, like the like nice fake gold type, decorations and like the berries and the dry. So
Oh,
good. So any type
oh,
of donut is really just my forte,
love it. I love it.
which is why my wedding cake will be donuts.
Yes.
Aw,
This is a great discussion, you guys. I love donuts so much.
so
So much.
fun. Yeah, I don't eat donuts very much, but I'm not opposed.
I
But
need you to go get a donut next Wednesday, okay, Dawn? Promise me
Check.
that
okay,
from that
Mhm.
place
and
that
I'll
you go
take a
by.
picture.
Mhm.
I'll take a
Thank you.
picture.
Post
Do
it.
it for us, okay?
Mhm.
Do it for us.
I will. Yeah, there's some really great ones too. Okay, I have to think about it. But yeah, and they're so beautiful. The presentation is great and all that too. Cool. I'm on. You're on. Wednesday,
I'll be
farmers
waiting.
market, donut.
Mhm, mhm.
I'm all about it. It's not
Do
going to
it.
be keto. It's not going to be vegan, probably.
No,
They
no,
do
we don't.
have some. They do have some vegan, and they have some gluten free. And I usually get those, but they're not quite as the great. Oh, Exotic Prairie has entered the chat with Black Box Donuts from the UK. Oh, so do they sell them internationally? Like, can you
Like,
get
they
them here in the
send them?
United States? Yeah, maybe. I love it. Hi, Exotic. Okay, so we're going to get to know Jasmine a little bit better.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Well, you know that I love
Our
donuts.
Yeah. And that's like an
Jasmine
important
loves
thing, you know.
Literally the only thing you need to know.
If we know the heart and the stomach of Jasmine, then we really truly are getting to know you. So yeah.
That's
Well,
really
Jasmine is a foodie, so we're going to definitely talk about this. So Jasmine's Twitter reads Jasmine Meadows at Jasmine Ashley 22. If you are on Twitter, do follow her. I can't say Twitter anymore.
I heard that. Yeah.
Actress, content creator, home chef, and Packers fan, and host of the It's Me the podcast. And Jasmine lives in LA. And Jasmine, how are you a Packer fan if you live in LA? How did that happen?
So I'm actually from New Jersey, which doesn't help when I tell people that, because they're like, wait, no, that still doesn't, you're not helping, Jasmine. I was like, all right, well, if you want, and then goes back to our earlier conversation of, do you really want to know? Like, are you willing to let me tell the story? You know, because some people they don't actually care. They're like, nah, it's fine. So but I know you guys probably do want to know. So
We
I
do
will
know. Yes, we do.
I
So I
want
watched
the long version.
the long version. I'll give you the long version. I watched my first football game, which was when we played the Denver Broncos in '98. And I was like 10 and I had no idea what was happening. And I was supposed to be watching Roots. When my aunt was watching us because my parents were out, literally supposed to be watching Roots. And I like ran upstairs to my parents' bedroom and I was like, I'm going to watch this. I heard someone say something about Super Bowl. I don't know what that is, but it sounds cool. Went upstairs and I was like hiding in my parents' bedroom. And I vividly remember just like watching. I had never watched football before. So I was like, what is happening right now? And then something grabbed me about like the green. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, obviously, I had an early proclivity for like, ugh. I didn't like my orange, so I was like, no, Denver, not today. But we lost. Devastating. I don't know how it was like devastating for me. I just watched it, but my parents came home. They're Giants fans. First game, I was like, ugh. Obviously, that's where I get the drama from. The drama was really present when I was 10. So my parents came home and they're Giants fans, so they like see me in the room, and I'm just like really upset. What is wrong with you? I'm like, I think I'm gonna be a Packers fan. They need me. And my dad just looked at me and was like, no, whatever. But my parents, again, super supportive. So like they just don't care. They're like, sure. And they thought it was a joke, right? Like they're probably like, oh, she's just off
It's a phase. Yeah.
Unknowing to them, my birthday again is in February. So I was ready. Like I think it was the first thing I picked as like myself as a human. You know, I was like, I'm gonna pick this, and it's gonna be something that I did. And I had my personalized jersey. I was like, I want this for my birthday. I want this. I had the memorabilia up the butt for no reason. Because again, I really didn't. I still was like, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm watching. So I had my personalized jersey, Meadows on the back, 22. I have Tasmanian Devil jersey. Like that's how I know. No one knows what the Tasmanian Devil is anymore. These kids don't know. And just like crazy stuff. So I just like kept asking for things, and it was for my birthday, so they just got it for me. So they're like, whatever. Fast forward, when I went to college, again, I watched like games here and there. Didn't really pay attention. Like my parents, they watch it, but they weren't super football. Like try to force it on me or anything like that. And I went to my freshman dorm. Wasn't even supposed to be there because it's an honors dorm. On the floor, I ran into a guy from Wisconsin, like from Green Bay. And so when he came and told me, he was like he came out of his room like wearing a Packers jersey. I was like, oh my God, I'm a Packers fan. And he looked at me, he's like, yeah? And I was like, I swear. And he's like, what do you know? And I go, well, Donald Driver is like my sexual dark chocolate, and that's all like for no reason was like, and that was very true. Like my whole entire the whole 10, I was in love with that man. And he
handsome fella,
and he's just like, you are so special. But I'm gonna change that. And so I blame him for the reason that I'm so into the Packers now, and nobody else. So Marcus Hatley, shout out to you.
Marcus Hatley.
He is the reason that I became such a big Packers fan. And we have yet to meet in Green Bay to go to a game, but that's on our goal because we went to college together. So I haven't seen him in a while, but we always talk about every season.
You're still in touch.
Every season we talk about, when we struggle through the pain of the losses.
Oh, the pain. You have to have somebody to struggle with the pain. That's why.
Well, I have all of you guys on Twitter for that.
Yeah.
That's why I had a live stream. That's why I had a live stream on Monday, because I couldn't sit through that verdict watch by myself, because you could have gone, I mean, you have to have it. Okay, so I love that. And he's actually from Green Bay, not just Wisconsin, but actually from Green Bay. Wow.
The guy who got sentenced? Oh, I thought you were talking about the guy
Hadley.
who
No,
got
I'm
sentenced.
sorry. I flipped that.
Keep up.
Yes, he's
No,
from Green Bay.
Hadley, whatever his name was.
Yes, Marcus.
Marcus.
Yes, he's from Green Bay.
Marcus Hadley.
Excellent.
So
Oh
we
my
became
gosh,
really
that's
close, and we
bad. That's just
he
so.
really helped
So, and you've
push
never
me over the edge.
changed.
And my parents were like, "Thanks a lot."
Thanks a lot. So are your parents football fans in general at all, or they just put it up?
They'll
with
watch it. I feel like they've started watching it more, I guess.
Mhm.
Or maybe they always have, but I wasn't aware or cognizant of it. But yeah, my mom is one of those moms who just yells at the screen sometimes and like doesn't know what she's talking about, which is fine. We love her. Love you, mom. Wherever
Yes.
you are. You love it. She was like, she was watching this game, but she's just yelling for no reason. But she unfortunately likes Patrick Mahomes.
Sorry, I know
The face you made.
we have a Chiefs fan here.
Listen,
Yeah.
I didn't have a problem with the Chiefs until this year and a certain Taylor Swift. Okay.
Mm.
And now
No,
I
it's
can't.
kind of over the top.
I can't watch any game. And how am I going to watch our game with them? What am I supposed to do with that?
Yep.
Well, you're going to have to watch our game with them. But
I'm going to be like
have-
intoxicated because every time they show her.
That's one way to do it. But we have our own star who's, going to be in the Olympics.
Well, she better be there. I don't know if she will.
Well,
because I think
she's
it's in
going to
Kansas
be
City.
there, and they're talking about like meeting together, and it's like, oh, please don't do that.
Don't do that.
Don't do that.
And I know that she probably wants to, so I'm like, it's fine, but like, ugh.
Well, I think Taylor wants it more than
Probably
than she does. Yeah.
smart, Simone.
Yeah, that's right. She's my queen.
Pappy says Tom
Love
Brady fans are in rehab. Lorenzo's having a good old time. Hi, Lorenzo. Okay. So let's see. I had a segue there, but I lost my train of thought. There's just so much there to all of that. So you, what do you snack on when you watch your Packer games? Do you have a snack, or do you do something different all the time? Simone Biles, yeah, she would much greater than much greater than.
Correct.
That's right. Hair.
What do I don't really, depending, I mean, it's 10 here, most times, and I don't like breakfast. So
Same.
normally just coffee
Mhm.
and a prayer. Sometimes I'll add some Kahlua in there. But if it's a later game, like my go-to, if I'm, just like really prepping for it, I'll make my buffalo chicken dip if I have everything that I need, and it is chef's kiss.
Nice.
It's
Good
the
time.
reason why people invite me places most times. They're like, so are you gonna bring that buffalo chicken dip? I'm like,
Have you been getting together with Jamie Cheesebot?
I have not. She can't do the 10 a.m. games. So we're thinking about, I told her, I was like, so should we try to do the Kansas City game? Because I think that's a night game.
What's the
I think it's
Thanksgiving
Sunday
game?
night.
What
Is it Thanksgiving? So maybe that's what it is. Gosh
well,
darn it.
that's Thanksgiving is the Lions.
Oh, so then no. So that must be
Yeah.
Sunday. It's a night game, I think.
I think so. Everyone look at it right now on your schedules.
I know we'll just leave the show. Okay, so
But yeah,
That's
so I'm
good
waiting
content.
for a later game that we
December
can
3rd,
meet up.
Packers Chiefs, 8:20 p.m.
Okay, so
In my
we
time
got
zone.
Thanksgiving. Okay, so we're Thanksgiving then. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Hopefully I'll see
so
her.
did you ever see Roots then? Did you ever watch
I'm sure, but it was like too young for me to process things. Like I don't remember things. Like no, like if I didn't wasn't trying to watch it, like maybe show that to me maybe later on in life. Okay,
Yeah, a little
It's a good
too
one.
young.
but like
watching.
10.
Yeah.
I looked at her and I was like, "You want me to watch this?"
I was very young when I saw it. It was traumatic for
Yeah.
sure. for
Yes.
sure.
I'm an
Yeah.
emotional human being. I came out the womb and like an empath to the stars. Like it was a lot. I was
Yeah.
traumatic. I was extra. I was like, "You want me to watch this?"
It's got some tough watch parts for sure. No doubt about that.
So I did.
Yeah,
I
oh,
watched it
wow.
I watched it at a later date. I think my aunt probably sat me down and like strapped me to the chair. You're gonna watch this.
Just like,
No football for
you're not
you.
watching.
So like, speaking of being an empath and emotions, tell us more about your podcast.
Yeah.
It is. It's chaos. That's what I always say. Like it's not chaos in like a a bad way, but it's just whatever I want
Mhm.
because it's mine.
Right, because you
So
can.
I randomly started it for, I think it was in like the tail end of the pandemic, and I had just gone through a lot of stuff and like mentally and a breakup and living situations that I was just, I need to get this out because if it stays in here, and as we said earlier, some people I don't feel comfortable telling you all this stuff. I might as well just say it to the world. And like,
Mhm.
if you want to hear it, go listen to my podcast. You know what I mean? So I just started talking into a microphone, and some people really loved it and could relate to some things. And that's always, I'm never looking for every single episode to relate to everybody, but I know at some point
Right.
someone's going to gather something. And I think it's a
Mhm.
great uh, resource for people who want to be my friend. So I tell like my current friends, I'm like, well, did you listen to my podcast? Do you want me to send you the episode that might help you understand what's happening?
Right.
But and the thing I really enjoyed was doing the guests, but it was a lot of work, and my brain is very, like, I'm pretty sure I have undiagnosed ADHD, which it's
Mhm.
fine. It's fine.
Yeah.
But I did love those because now I have those pieces of um my friends and my family. So like I had a podcast with my parents, and I'll always
Oh,
have that. And I definitely cried, obviously,
wow. Oh,
uh
wow.
throughout this at some point. But it's just nice to have, those moments with some of my best friends and my family. And then I
Mhm.
was like, listen, I was like, I don't feel like interviewing anyone. And people were like, can I be on there? I'm like, no, no, because I'm a very honest human being. So I just started doing my own, making them shorter because I was like,
Mhm.
I don't even listen to like hour-long podcasts unless I'm driving. But then if I'm driving, sometimes I'll fall asleep. It's chaos. Not like fall asleep and like hurt. Well, I get drowsy. But anyway, so yeah, and I make my own schedule with it.
Mhm.
Who knows when it's coming back? It's just fun. I feel like a
Yeah.
lot of the podcasts that people start are just really, you know, a passion like project, and it's
Mhm.
just hope if it becomes something more, yes, we love that. But like you never know what kind of niche it's gonna fall into. So I always tell people who do ask that I don't know, they're like, oh, can I be on your podcast? I'm like, you know what? No, but you should start your own podcast.
Mhm.
Right. Right. Right.
Because you can, because
Right.
it's so accessible to do,
Yes.
Yeah.
and you don't know who it's gonna reach. Like it can, who knows who it's gonna reach? It might change
Right.
one person's life, and that's one person more than you would have
That's
if you
it.
didn't start it. So
Yeah.
That's right.
It's a great
Mhm.
creative outlet. It's a great thing to like I look forward to it every week,
mhm.
coming on and talking, football content with Dawn, hearing some crazy true crime stuff from her. It's just a fun
Lately,
time.
especially a lot of
Especially.
that. So define chaos because Tosh, Matt said that I just reminded me of when Matt and I met for the first time face to face last month. And you described me on Twitter in a post, right, Matt? And one of the words was chaotic. And I was like,
Probably.
oh, I'm
That would be on brand, yeah.
I could get a little bit of that energy. I won't lie to you. But it's
okay.
like good chaotic energy, though.
Yes, to be
You know what
clear.
I mean? It's
To
not
be
like
clear.
that's what I'm saying. Like there's sometimes it's like bad chaos and like the
Oh
chaotic.
gosh,
You
yeah.
give a fun chaotic energy that like
Got you.
it's very gravitating. Is that the right word? Like very. It's like
Yeah,
a
yeah.
Magnetic?
Inviting.
magnet. There you go. Thank you. Yeah, very
Yes.
magnetic.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, because it's funny because I feel like I don't see the chaos, probably because I see you cooking and that takes a lot of discipline and
oh, you should see my kitchen after I cook.
preparation. Well, anyone's kitchen after they cook, but
This
I
is why
am an
I stopped
artist.
filming things. So I was like, I am a mess.
Yeah. Exotic Prairie says Exotic Prairie is a golf playing football fan. I love it. I used to play golf
I play
back in the
golf.
day. I broken shoulder. I can't do that anymore in my
Ooh.
neck, but golf, and I never thought I'd like golf. I don't like watching it, but playing it is fun.
It is
Fun.
fun.
I used to play a lot every weekend. That's cool. Okay, so back to your Twitter, okay, and chaos, because we like chaos, evidently. We like chaos here. I think it's a creative thing. Is that maybe
Yes.
what we're seeing here? It's the creativity.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
that makes sense.
I'm very creative, but I sometimes get way too I get way too many ideas and then I get tired. So I
Mm,
exhaust myself with how many things I want to do and know that I'm
mhm.
capable of doing. Because shout
Yeah,
out to my parents, they told me I can do anything, and I very well just go about doing
same,
whatever I
same,
Mhm.
want to do. So
same.
it just that's where I think I'm referencing like the chaos. Like I'll just like do whatever I want. Like what's it about? I'm like,
Right,
I don't know. Me. Like
right.
it's really hard
My
to explain
idea,
it.
it's in
I'm
my
like, I'm just
head.
talking.
Yeah, it's
Right.
in my
Like
head. Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
just talking to the wall to myself. And I decided to record it and push it out to the world.
Mhm.
And
I love
that
that. I love that so much, and I've never heard anyone say that about their parents because I always say that about my parents. You can do anything you want, and
mhm,
so I had a hard time like deciding on a major in school, and
same.
my high school people were like, the counselors were like, "Oh, you got to be a lawyer," and my mom's like, "Oh, you should be an artist or a ballerina." And I'm like, I don't have the body for a ballerina. I'm very like muscular. I've got like a Simone Biles body, and even like muscles. And so, but that's ties into Helen. The videos I've been doing the last couple of weeks, they're seeing my creative side, but that's who I am. I just haven't been I've been doing out live streams, but I haven't done creative kind of videos like I've been doing this last couple of weeks. And the reason I'm doing that is because I was inspired by another creative who's doing them, and she encouraged me. She or he, I'm not sure. They're
Oh,
kind of mystique. But yeah,
love
yeah.
that.
So Dawn adores golf because she can swing a club. Okay. Yes, very creative. I have fun, and I'm glad I'm doing it because I thought about doing things like that. And then the other thing is I was sick for a couple weeks and I was literally in bed sick. Like I couldn't get up. And so I'm just like making videos and stuff. And they're really popular. So it's been fun for me. It's like, why didn't I do that sooner? But I love that you're doing that. And I love that your parents told you can do anything because my parents did, and most parents, I feel like more parents should do that, but I can also see how it can be like what you're talking about. You have all these
Rein it
projects
in.
going on and you're not finishing. Yeah, how to rein it in. How to rein it
Yeah,
in. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. I love
that's
that.
very
I love
hard.
that.
Yeah. Matt, are you
So
creative?
Am I
oh,
creative? I mean, I'm here doing a podcast. Yeah, I mean, I love making stupid memes on my phone, for example, throwing stuff together. And I was a band director for 13 years.
Oh
The
wow.
music at the beginning of the podcast,
You did that?
that was
you
all
wrote
me.
the music.
So
Yep. You did the music.
Hey,
Yep.
yeah, I mean, I'm pretty creative, I'd say. Yeah.
I love that.
For
Yeah,
sure. For
I feel
sure.
like creative people are we're just like superior.
Just saying. Just saying.
Little saying.
Mhm.
Okay, so let's talk about excuse my cough. I'm sorry. It's annoying, especially on a podcast. Still
No
getting
worries.
over that. So sorry. Um, let's talk about your home chef. If you're not following Jasmine on Twitter, I mean, she presents the most beautiful, yummy. It's not that they're just beautiful, but it's like, I want to eat that right now. Like, can I just drive to LA right now and go to her house and eat that? They're yummy dishes.
I get that a
So
lot.
are you a fan of some of the cooking shows too? Like Matt likes the Great British Bake Off, right? And some other,
Mhm,
are
mhm.
you into that? No, you
No.
just do your own thing.
I really I think it's because my dad is the one who taught me how to cook. So like he was my cooking show. Like
Uh-huh.
I would literally just watch him while I was growing up. And then once he was like, you need to learn how to cook because if you don't, I don't know who the hell's gonna feed you when you leave this house. So I was like, facts. So one weekend they like left on vacation. My dad was like, guess what? You have to cook for yourself. Like this was after I graduated college, and he was just like, have fun.
Right.
I was like,
Mhm.
and actually, no, I think it was like one of the summers of college because I started cooking for my sorority sisters in college
Oh,
to like
okay.
practice.
Mhm.
But yeah, I think I watched him so many times that again, that's where I think the chaos. I couldn't watch a cooking show because I can't follow it.
Right.
I can
Sure.
watch clips
Mhm.
like of
Mhm.
random things on TikTok maybe, but I won't sit down and watch a full show because
Mhm.
I watch more like not true crime, but like fake crime. That's my
Yeah.
cup of tea to watch. Like I
Yeah.
watch Law and Order SVU, Criminal
Mhm.
Minds on
Mhm.
repeat,
Mhm.
back to back to back to back. So I really just, it's up here and I just make things. And if it tastes good, which 99% of the time it always does.
Yeah.
We love it. And then I present it because
Right.
that I watched a few Top Chef and
Love that show.
what's the other one that they do presentation? Not Gordon Ramsay because he scares me.
He scares
Anyone
me.
where they
He's
would like
mean.
plate, anyone where they would plate it and make it look really beautiful.
Yeah.
I was like, oh God, I
Right.
want to do that. And then I think our creative brains, like it's also
Mhm.
it's kind of rewarding to see it come
Right.
together on a, I don't know. Again,
Yeah.
Mhm.
I do the same thing when I cook. I don't cook very much anymore, but if I have to go somewhere and I'm bringing a dish, or if I am entertaining, I go all out, all out. It's just a creative process for me. And Pappy asked, do you have a signature dish?
I feel like everyone always
Buffalo.
asks me that. And besides the buffalo
Mm.
chicken dip, which is just like a more of the thing I throw together for everyone else.
Mhm.
I will have to say that salmon I just made,
Mhm.
I'll try to make.
Oh,
I won't make it the same. But now
I
that
never make it twice. No.
you know what I mean. But now I know what I
Mhm.
was doing and kind of like I
Mhm.
could easily whip that. That shit look good.
Yeah.
And the
It looked
leftovers.
good.
Mhm.
I was like, Jasmine.
Mm.
Oh, but lasagna is another one that I do.
Mm.
I make that for Christmas Eve every year for my family. So
Oh,
my
nice.
dad does it. My
Nice.
dad cooks on Christmas, and then I take care of Christmas Eve together.
It's good.
Nice.
It's a
So
good
I'm like a
deal.
really great daughter.
My
Clearly.
mother-in-law used to make lasagna. Let's see, when did she make it? I think it must have been Christmas Eve. I learned how to make pizza from her. That's where I get my Italian name. I'm not actually Italian, but I learned how to make pizza from her. And I like doing that. I haven't done it in years. And I'm not a big lasagna person, but I don't eat fish anymore, hardly. Once in a while, if I want to get tempted, or if I feel like I'm tempted to eat, it's going to be salmon. Yeah, it's going to be a nice chunk of salmon. And when I was back in Wisconsin for the game, I ended up staying longer because my mom was really couldn't get up. She couldn't do anything. I was like having an infant for a couple of weeks. I was cooking and everything, and I made her salmon. And she's a really picky eater. And everything I made, she was like, it's actually good. Like, she was surprised because she doesn't normally like my cooking because it actually has flavor, and she doesn't like that. But yeah, she loved my salmon, and I felt really great that I could still had it after years of not cooking salmon.
Yeah, I love that.
Okay.
Matt, what do you cook? Matt, I need to know what Matt's like signature.
Matt.
Yeah, so I do most of the cooking at home, and my wife makes pizzas on Saturday nights, but otherwise I do the cooking the rest of the week.
I love that.
It depends. It's seasonal. It's seasonal. In the summer, my favorite thing to make is just like a simple, like pasta with pesto and vegetables and sausage and stuff like that. But right now, my kids are actually really into fish, which is kind of a recent development. So we've been eating salmon every week, at least one night of the week.
Mm-hmm.
But if I had to say I had a signature dish, I think the one that I really enjoy making is there's this baked ziti that has like you make the meat sauce yourself. It's all from scratch except for like the pasta, and it's got like a bechamel though layered in with it, and it is crazy good.
That sounds delicious.
So it has the bechamel and marinara
and meat sauce. Yeah, so it's like you mix up the noodles and the meat sauce and all the all that stuff into like a big old bin, and you put like half of it in, and then you put in the bechamel and a bunch of cheese, half of it bechamel, bunch of cheese and some sauce on top, and
that's how they tell you how to make your mac and cheese.
Yes,
or to get a
that's how I make my mac and cheese.
You have to do the half in the middle.
Yep, that's how I make my mac and cheese. Yep. And Sammy's into the Pappy. What is wrong with me? I can't speak tonight. Pappy's into the salmon, being versatile. Lasagna is heavenly, and Helen makes hers with roti, and she calls it itty giddy. I won't say the word.
Donna, you're gonna say that on our family show? My goodness.
I know it's a family show, but you know what? I don't love lasagna noodles. I have my own pasta maker, like the old-fashioned kind. Have you ever made your own pasta, Jasmine?
I have. I don't have a maker, but I use my hands and my rolling pin.
Yeah. Oh my gosh!
It was fun though. It was a fun process.
Yeah,
I never had an
it's
interest in
fun.
like the idea of making my own pasta until I saw the second season of Master of None. Do you guys watch that? It was the show that Tom Haverford, what's his actual name? She can't think of it, but there's the whole second season. He's like in Italy for a big chunk of it, and because he's
Mhm.
there learning how to make pasta. So there's just all these like, just like very, I don't even know the word, sensual shots of him making pasta and then like eating it. It's just like, oh, that looks amazing. So I don't know, maybe we'll come back to that at some point.
Definitely.
Mhm.
Like, and
Start
you don't
making my
have
own
to make
pasta.
too much. You know what I
Mhm,
mean? And it's like I didn't have fancy ingredients. Like I didn't have a certain flour. Like I literally it's just like my basic flour, and it still came out. Like it still worked, and it was
Yeah,
delicious. And I felt and it's
it's so
accomplishment.
fun.
You know what I mean? You're
mhm.
like, I made this
Mhm.
from scratch. And that's what's fun
That's
about
right.
cooking too, because then you're like, yeah, I made this.
Yeah, exactly.
Mhm.
There's a lot of pride when you create anything. But yeah, it's
Mhm.
like when it's food and people are eating and they're enjoying it, like that's a good
Mhm.
sense of
Oh
accomplishment
yeah, I'll
for
stare
sure.
at people before I eat. I go,
I
how does it
React.
taste?
like it.
React.
And if they
It's
don't, if
true.
they just like keep eating, like ignore me, I just stare. And they're like, what is I'm like, how is it? I just slaved in the kitchen for you. What are you talking about? React right now. They're like,
Yeah,
well, I'm busy
that's good.
eating. I'm like, fine.
Yeah, my mouth is full. So your parents don't live in LA, but they're
No, they
okay,
retired in Delaware.
Oh,
Delaware.
of all places.
And so you're an actress, so that's why you live in LA, right? Basically.
Yes.
Yes.
That's why I moved out here. And then I fell
And
into content creation in the pandemic
right,
because
as
there was
many
nothing
of
was
us
happening.
did. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
So now I create a lot of content for other brands and their social media platforms.
Okay, cool.
So like
Cool.
not like what I do on my own social media channels is more like influencing, if you want to say that, or just like whatever I
Right,
want to
right,
do.
Mhm.
But
right.
I fell into, like Kellogg's is one of my clients, and I do their like some of their content for each whatever brand they need me
Mhm.
for, and then
Mhm.
they put it on their
Mhm.
profiles. Like I just finished a Cheez-It video tonight.
So like where can
Fun.
we find one of those things? Like do you ever link to them at all or anything so we
I
know
don't.
like to see what you did, because I'd be really curious about that.
It's literally just the Cheez-It platform,
You're
like
the
their
Cheez It
TikTok.
person?
So on
Okay.
their TikTok, they'll post whatever videos I do on their
Mhm.
TikTok.
So if we go to Cheese It TikTok, we're gonna be like, hey, Jasmine
That's
made that.
Jasmine. Yes. Well, it's
Mhm.
me, and I'm in it because they do a lot. They ask me to do a lot of
Oh.
sketches
Oh, okay.
because
Oh,
have
fun.
they have creators, and then they just I think they kind of lean towards whatever the creator's good at. And I've worked
Mhm.
with Kellogg for so long that they know I can come up with a skit, and like that I'm an actress, so I like
Gotcha.
throw skits together. And then they give me like a broad general like concept. Like
Mhm.
today's was, when when you ask your sibling if they want some, they say no, and then you sit down and they're asking for it, and you're like,
Right, right,
and so I did that
right.
little back and forth and edited it, and then
Mhm.
delivered it to them.
So, at the risk of sounding like I'm 46, because I am, I'm not on TikTok very much, but Aaron did mention in the chat earlier that you're basically a TikTok superstar or something like that.
I
So
am Aaron.
this is what Aaron's getting at, I guess, is that like you're all over the TikToks with sketches and stuff. So with
No.
these, like obviously it's gonna show up on the Cheez It, platform or page or account or whatever. Do you also post them to your own personal one? Can we see like a whole catalog of these things? No. Oh,
I have like a portfolio on my website,
okay,
like
all
a
right.
page for content creation where I put videos that I like to advertise, like things that I've done with certain companies, so that if someone, was looking to hire me or wanted to see some of my work, they could go right to that page on my website, and see some of the videos that I've made. And that like ranges from direct, like I did a Doritos ad that I did post on my TikTok, and I was really
Mhm.
proud of it because I thought it was really great. And then I do, quick kind of UGC type stuff, so user
Mhm.
generated content with champagne, and then I'll throw up my Cheez-It skits, because then you see I can do like a skit, but I am very versatile, which sometimes is a detriment to me, but I won't change who I am, so I'm just gonna keep doing it. Because people try
Right
to like niche
on.
me down and like put me in a box,
Mhm.
but I refuse. So
Yeah. Good for you.
So your website, we can find some of your stuff on your website. What is your website?
JasmineMeadows.com.
There it is.
I kept it real simple.
Yeah. Well, that's smart. That's smart.
Real simple.
As it should be. As
Real
it should
simple.
be.
So there's like my acting stuff.
I
on there,
love
so I
it.
keep that. But
Mhm.
I made a page.
I love
for
that you do
content creation.
Cheez-Its too. Cheez-Its are fun.
I would love to turn. I don't want to like my. Not that my house is messy, but I turned this way and there is a lot of Cheez-Its. Like they send me pallets, like for the creation, which I get.
Yeah.
I'm like, I love
Yeah.
that, thank you, but I don't need. I'm not shoving Cheez-Its into my mouth to make this content. Like I'll eat a couple, and then I have 17 boxes. So anytime someone comes over or I go over
Right.
someplace, I'm like, you like Cheez-Its? I'm like a dealer. I'm like a
I was
Cheez-It
going to
dealer.
ask you.
Like I have regular Cheez-Its, I have buffalo wing Cheez-It, I have white cheddar Cheez-Its, and I think I still have like 3 more videos within this contract. So if they want a different flavor, they could send me more, and then I'm just I'll swim it. I'll be swimming in it.
So this is a really side question, but do you have a favorite flavor of Cheez-It, and is it toasted Cheez-Its? Because those are the best.
White cheddar.
White cheddar. Okay.
They're
All right. All right.
I'm so mad because that's the smallest amount that they sent me. I'm like, you sent me the other ones, but only like 6 of these. Fine. It's fine. But they sent me in snack packs, which is good, so I can bring it on the airplane. So anytime
nice.
I go home, I'll use for that.
Mhm.
But yeah.
So
But most of
because
my
the
stuff is-
orange ones, oh sorry,
Okay, fine. The orange ones.
the orange
are the
ones make
original.
your hands turn, your fingers turn orange. How do you deal with that?
Only if they have a flavor on them. So like the buffalo wing one does have a little bit. It's a new one, which I'm
Okay.
probably gonna crush up and bread some chicken with, because how else am I supposed to eat this?
Why not?
Mhm.
And then the original one doesn't have anything on it, so that's simple. But the white cheddar, messy.
So they don't.
So messy. You just have white stuff all over your hands.
Okay, well at least
But
it's
they're
white,
delicious.
not
I
But yeah,
orange.
your basic Cheez-It is not dusted with anything done. So not like say Cheetos, which do
Oh.
get your fingers all messy.
don't
Okay,
like Cheez-Its.
okay, yeah,
Yeah.
I don't eat Cheez-Its. Okay, I have
That's
a
okay.
question.
You just
I-
Do you
I
all
pick it
put
up.
do you all put Cheez-Its in your Chex Mix?
I don't eat Chex.
Some people do.
I've never seen that.
I have.
I think I only
have
eat the
seen it.
sweet Chex Mix, so I wouldn't put it in that.
Sweet.
Like the one that they puppy
Mm.
chow.
Puppy chow. Yep.
Oh,
Yes,
yeah.
that gets me. If that's ever at a party, I'm like,
Mhm.
okay, well, just put it down in front of me. Leave me alone.
Mhm.
It's so good. It's so
Yes.
food.
Yes.
Well, that's a
Puppy chow.
segue into one of my superlatives. So just was asking, just was checking. Okay, so we know that you want to wrap things up before we do start with our superlatives, but we love to ask a couple of questions. So before you go, one of my favorite questions, and we always get a different answer. No pressure here. Drum roll, please. You're a big voice on Packers Twitter, which we love.
Mhm.
Obviously TikTok as well, which I've been missing out on, evidently. What is the best thing about Packers Twitter that you can think of in one word? And what would you change if you had the power to change something?
So how I think of Packers Twitter in one word?
How you feel about it, maybe?
Can I stick with the same word
Sure.
that I've been using
Yeah.
all this whole time?
Absolutely.
Chaotic.
Absolutely.
It's the word of the night. Love it.
It is chaotic.
It's chaos. I don't think I would change anything. I really love just the sense of community on there.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
while I watch my games, because a lot of times I don't like to watch it out because I'm aggressive and annoying and I'm loud. And so sometimes I'm like, "Ugh, I don't want to be around other people." And so having you guys at the palm of my hand to see you're also in my frustration is really nice.
Mhm.
Not saying that like I can't go to a Packers bar, which is like we have plenty here in LA, but I really just there's some negative aspects of it where I just kind of swipe past and I go, that's too much
Yeah.
for Jasmine. But I mean,
Yeah.
that's just life. That's life. You
Slide
can't change
past.
that. People are gonna be negative
like
and overreact. But it's amusing at least. Provides me some entertainment.
Mhm.
That's right. That's right. So you don't
That's
have
good. That's a good
you don't
answer.
feel the
Yeah.
need to change it. You don't feel the need to change it. I like that. I like that.
We wouldn't be Packers Twitter if we weren't the
Yeah.
way we are. If
That's
we
a good
weren't
point.
chaotic.
So chaotic
Entertaining is
comes
such a
up
good word.
again.
Sorry, I was gonna say, entertaining is such a good word because you do have all kinds of different personalities. A lot of really fascinating people, out there just doing their thing. I mean, earlier this week I was listening to a podcast and they were actually, speaking of Erin, they're shouting out Erin for all the work she does with like the Mark Murphy,
Love-
sledding hill
man.
memes, etc. and stuff like that. It's like, yeah, people like that are out there in Packers Twitter, just like
yeah,
being
she's the best.
interesting and amusing
yes.
and entertaining.
So entertaining.
Yeah.
Yeah, yes,
Yeah.
and Erin is the best, let it be said. Just the
She
best.
really is. She's the best.
The
yeah.
best. The best. We love Erin. All right, Jazzy. Well, now I'm calling you Jazzy because Pappy's calling you Jazzy. Do people call you Jazzy? She's
They
calling you
don't. I don't like
DJ
to be called Jazz,
Jazzy.
Oh,
but it's only because I love my name so much, and my parents gave me a
It's
very
a
beautiful
beautiful
name.
name.
it's a beautiful name.
Yes.
So, and I like full names as well. Like I'll call people by
Mhm.
their full name, even if they don't like it. I'm like, listen. But then I sound like a mother because I'm like Christopher. Like, no. But I like Jasmine, Jazzy. I think
It's not
my
you.
niece is the only one, and that's because she's my blood and she's younger, and I can't
Yeah.
be like,
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
I can't hit her.
Well,
with it. I'm just kidding.
one of my favorite scents in my garden is pink jasmine. I love the scent of jasmine.
Mhm.
It's a beautiful name. Jasmine Meadows is even better. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
A lot of pressure my parents put on me to be
Yeah.
just great. I was like, thanks a lot, guys.
I love
I have
your
to do
parents.
something with my life.
I know I love your parents.
Everyone loves my parents. They always are like, can I meet your parents? I think it's either like
Aw.
a curiosity of being like, who did this child come from? Or just like, she's so great. Like her parents have to be great, which they are. They're amazing.
I remember last year seeing some of your tweets when they were in town. They were visiting. Do they come out like once a year or
Once a
yeah?
year. Yeah. We go down to San Diego and we just play golf, drink, eat, sleep, play cards. Very
Nice.
simple.
Sounds excellent.
Play
I mean,
It
cards.
is the-
What kind of cards do you play?
So we play 5 crowns. I don't know if you've ever heard it. I'm
No.
going to show you because it's 5
5
crowns.
crowns.
Mhm.
And we also play
Yes.
like a whole, what is it? No, Play 9 is a new one that they do. So they like to keep their brains active, which I love. And they'll just like play cards, and they have more of a social life than I do. So we love that for them because they're in
Oh,
their
my mother
70s.
does too. Yeah.
I'm like,
Yes.
you keep going.
Yeah.
You keep going.
So
Mhm.
cool. It's so cool.
Yeah.
Well, we play cribbage. This is the first year we finally played cribbage the night before I left because my mom was really not doing well. And then we got her enough pain medication and we medicated her up and took her in the wheelchair and we brought her to the Mosquito Inn and we had a perch fry and played cribbage on my last night there. It was such
That
a
sounds like fun,
Wisconsin thing to do.
Yes.
It was so great.
I love that.
And she's doing much
like
better now. She's
Good.
had her procedure and all that, so everything's
Oh,
good.
good.
So I didn't
Good.
have to go back. I was like, oh, I'm gonna have to come back. We'd have to come back here and bring a winter coat because it was like hot. It was hot, but now it's like 30.
Yeah.
Yeah, cold. I can't handle that.
So I was going to say also, playing cards with your parents. I love that too. My favorite parts of visiting my mom back in Wisconsin, she lives by Madison, is playing euchre, which is also very Wisconsin, with her and her husband. My wife and I are much better euchre players than my mom and her husband are. We trash talk through the whole entire night as we play. We would play like 2 hours of euchre. Yeah. Dawn, you're not familiar. I thought you'd actually know the game. It's a card game. It's a card game. It's very like German, very Wisconsin. Would recommend. It's a lot of fun.
Because my parents love a good card game, and that's
Mhm.
literally we just every night we'll play like 2-3 games to
Excellent.
digest from the food that we just ate.
There you go. That's right.
Right. You have to digest. I love that so much. I love that so much. Well, Jasmine.
There you go. Yep.
I almost said
Well, it's
Jazzy.
okay. It's okay.
Jasmine, thank you so much for joining us tonight. I love that we got to know a little bit more about you. Why you're a Packers fan and what you love about being a Packers fan. And that's one of my favorite things that we do together, that Matt and I do together is get to have conversations with friends that we might only be typing back and forth with. So I'm so glad you were able to do it. We finally got you on the
Yes,
show.
thank you
And
so
I
much
can't
for
wait to
having me.
see pictures of your meal tonight. What are you making?
Yes. I have it's random. I don't know why it happened, but I have puff pastries because they're in season in Trader Joe's, so they're more affordable there.
Yep.
And I
Yep.
was going to do an apple treat, which is easy. I can do that in my sleep.
Yeah.
But I was like, I want something savory. So
Yeah.
I made this. I had ground turkey and I made it like, have you ever had a taco ring?
No,
Look it up.
I will.
Mm,
I will.
It
Okay.
is. It's a very easy like snack thing. My mom used to make it because she can't cook. But it's very easy to make. Love you, Mom. She's gonna kill me. But I made it kind of like that, so it's like very cheesy. Has cream cheese, some spinach in there, some red onions. And so I made that. So that's sitting there and ready. So I'll turn the oven on, and I'm just kind of make little pockets of that, and then a little dipping sauce. So it's like a snack because again, I'm just feeding myself, so it's
Mhm.
fine.
Sounds
And
delicious.
Right.
I'm just gonna eat
I love
and not watch
that.
the rest of this game.
Now the
Well,
game.
Jasmine,
Have you
where can people
ha-
find
have,
you and your stuff? I'm sorry, Don, go ahead. I was
oh,
jumping
well,
in. Go ahead, Don.
well, yes. Now I'm on the puff pastry. Have you ever done baked brie with puff
Yes,
pastry?
yes, I have.
So
Yes, I
good.
have.
So good.
So good.
So
Okay,
good.
Don, I'm gonna send you because I have a TikTok video that they did a
Okay.
brie one. I'll send it to you.
I love
Mm.
it. I love it. I love it.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, Maddie,
Um,
sorry.
Oh yeah, I was just moving into the the standard. So Jasmine, where can people find you, your stuff on various platforms?
Yes.
How can we support you?
I made it really easy for everyone, but like mostly myself because I didn't want to change it. It's Jasmine Ashley 22 on all social media platforms. So
Nice.
very simple. And then
Perfect.
JasmineMeadows.com is my website, and there's links on every social media to like find other things that I'm
Mhm.
doing. So
Perfect.
I kept it easy for everyone.
Aw,
Nice.
I don't
Well,
want
Jasmine,
you
do you
to
have any
go.
last thoughts before you head out for your for your taco ring? Which also sounds like a crime ring, but like in taco
Oh my
restaurants.
Well,
God.
so
Yes.
the
Taquerias.
taco ring is like crescent rolls. So that's a different thing. I'm just gonna do little pocket. I don't know. I haven't
Mhm.
decided yet. Well, again, it'll just come to me. But
Figure
it's
it
like a
out.
taco ring,
Right.
and then you put a bowl in there, and you can dip it. Anyway, you'll look it
Oh,
up, and you'll be like,
okay.
oh, this is like
Yeah.
a anyway
All
nostalgic.
about it.
But yeah, I just want to
I
thank you
love it.
guys because I had so much fun tonight, and it's so nice always, putting faces. Obviously, Matt, I've already seen you on
Mhm.
the other podcast, but Dawn. Well, actually, that's a lie. I have seen you because I watched you when you did it with Jamie. So never mind.
Oh yeah.
I've seen both of you.
That's been a
Just
There you go.
minute.
kidding.
Yep.
That's been a minute. Well, we live too close. We have to get together one of these days. I'm pretty sickly, so I don't generally go out in public and see people, especially this
I
time of
just
year.
I
As
just
you can
choose
tell,
not
I'm
to.
always sick. I know. I know. Well,
I just
that
stay
too, but
inside.
I at least. But one
I
of these
choose to not.
days,
Yes.
well, Super
I'll
Bowl
grab
for
Jamie.
sure. And then
Yeah.
next year, the Packers are going to be traveling to the West Coast for some of the games. So when they're at SoFi, we must.
There you go.
Must.
Yep.
Must.
Yeah.
Yes.
So,
Absolutely. And then Jamie will absolutely do that one too.
oh, she will.
I'll
We've
force
already
her.
talking
I will
about it.
throw.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll throw her over my shoulder.
Yeah. We're both. Yeah.
That is an image.
Oh gosh. Have you met Pepe LaFleur? She calls Moon the cat.
Oh no,
Okay.
I don't like cats, but
Oh. Okay. Well, that's
I
understandable.
wasn't like urgent to go see it. But
Right. Right. She loves her kitty.
she does. It's keeping her
Yes.
very
Calm.
sane,
Yeah.
which we love.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
we love that.
Mm-hmm.
Even though
All right, my
even though he
dear.
gets scared when she yells at the TV. I said,
Oh
"Watch him."
yes. Yeah. You can't yell or scream with cats around. No. 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 They do not like that.
It's hard
So
with
she's
being a
figuring it
Packers
out.
fan.
I know. It freaks
fine.
them out.
Well,
Oh,
thank you guys
Jasmine, it's
again
been
so
so
much.
nice.
Yeah. This has been lovely getting a chance to talk to you
You're
today about it. It's
welcome.
been great.
And you guys have a good night, okay?
You too.
Bon appetit.
All right, Don. So let's move on to
I
superlatives.
don't want her to go. I don't want her to go.
I know.
It's
Oh,
like
Jasmine's delightful, huh?
oh,
Wasn't that nice?
she's the best. I've been wanting her on our show for over a year. We've been trying to
Mhm.
get the date that worked. So glad that you were able to finagle everything together.
Yeah. Listeners, you can tell Jasmine is a very busy person, has a lot of like irons in the fire. So getting her schedules to line
Mhm.
up with ours was actually really tricky. Like you said, no, we've tried to find a time for her for like about a year now. So really glad we're able
Right.
to make it work tonight. It was so good talking to her.
So good. And she does a lot of events and things like that. So she doesn't have like, as a lot of creative people, we don't always have like a normal schedule because things happen. I mean, obviously now I'm not doing half of what I would want to be doing, so I can do a regular schedule for the most part.
Yeah.
And I like that it's grounding for me that I have like this on Thursday nights and certain things, you know, it's I'm doing something rather than just I mean, the whole pandemic I was already reclusive, you know, and sickly, but the pandemic made me really reclusive. So this show and being able to do, you know, live streams on YouTube and podcasts and things like that, it's just really great creative outlet for a lot of us. So yeah. Cool, Maddie. Well, let's bring our superlatives for the night. Hey,
Let's do it. Yeah.
have you been watching the game? Is it over? Oh, I'm sorry, I just was
Oh,
gonna
I have
check.
not
So
been. Usually once we go live, I
okay.
usually turn it off. But yeah. So my
Yeah.
first superlative for this week, you know, kind
Okay.
of the big thing on Packers Twitter this week was that, you know, our friend Tom Grossi was chosen by the Packers to be like their sort of representative to the NFL Fan of the Year competition. So he
So great.
first of all, he's amazing. We love him so much. He's just the best. And I think who could be more deserving? This is a guy who went to like all of the stadiums, and not just for fun, but to like to raise money for a worthy charity. Like,
Right.
what more could you ask? Like he went to like he did a meetup at every stadium for the fans. So he's meeting people from every fan base. He's going to every stadium. He's doing it to raise money for charity. Like you can't beat that. You can't beat that. He's not just a Packers fan.
No.
He's obviously a football fan, and he's interacting with all the different fan bases. I mean, you can't beat that. So if he I think what I'm trying to say is like we need to make sure he gets it, and you can vote more than once on this thing. So you know, if you're sitting there like watching TV, kind of hanging out, like I do, like every night at the end of the day, just kind of unplugging, just pull up the website, just vote for him again and again. Let's stuff that ballot box, people. Let's make sure Tom Grossi gets this very much deserved win. But anyhow, so after it was announced that he, you know, is the sort of the delegate for the Packers, if you will, the nominee from the Packers, he made this really touching video. Him and of course his what's the word? Sort of his sidekick isn't exactly it, but I was looking for something like sidekick. But his right hand man, let's say Johnny Barks, our friend Johnny Barks, and Tom made a really delightful video. It's great. Of course, we're gonna link everything in the show notes as always. But it's very touching because it's Tom kind of talking about his journey from like being a little kid to like the things that he like the people he's been able to meet, the things he's been able to accomplish through the work he does, the content creation he does. But it's just really super touching, and it's like, you know, it's one of those things hard to watch without just like, you know, with a little tear kind of just in the corner of the eye. So really just another wonderful video. I mean, because Tom and Johnny, they're so creative and so good at like making really effective videos, you know, like it's on point. So a great video, a very well-deserving fella to be the NFL Fan of the Year, and just really excited for this.
Yeah, it's so great. It's so great. What a week. Is that a new thing for the Packers? I don't remember that last year. Is that a new?
I think NFL Fan of the Year has been a thing for a while, but I don't know, because I don't think I always pay a lot of attention to it, because like the Packers would be nominating folks we don't know. So it wasn't really on my radar.
Right. Sorry, my cat is meowing at me and I don't know why. She's just meowing. Okay, I love that. And it's I'm going to bring in my superlative that kind of complements yours. And this is most appetizing. And this goes to Sarah Kelleher from Pack a Day Podcast Wednesday crew. Of course, Dusty was there too. And Steve.
And Steve was not this week.
Steve was out. So Sarah Kelleher, and because it fits in with what we were just talking about with Jasmine, food, and they have their food questions every week. So she had the best story about her grandmother and her grandmother's Chex Mix. And I felt like I was there. It kind of reminded me of my grandmother and certain things she made. It wasn't Chex Mix, but it was just so great. I love the way she just describes things and the way she writes. We don't see her writing now, but it was just a
Mhm.
really delightful, heartwarming story about her grandmother. And they also mentioned Tom Grassi in the conversation, so
Mhm.
it tied into both of our conversations tonight about food with Jasmine and Tom Grassi, and FL nominee fan of the year. So
Mhm.
that's fun. Most appetizing, and it made me want to make Chex Mix because I don't like the Chex Mix that they have in the stores either. It's just disappointing, right? And then I
Just
remember
disappointing.
it's just disappointing. Yeah, it's not. It's
Mhm.
not. And but I do remember somebody making I mean, you've had so many varieties of Chex Mix over the years, and I haven't had any recently, but back in the day. But I remember people putting Cheez-Its in them, and you don't remember that ever?
No.
You don't
No,
remember
no, no.
Cheez-Its? Yeah,
No.
it does seem a little wrong. Yeah, it's wrong. But I like a real basic Chex Mix, like just, the Chex
Sure.
and a little peanuts. There's peanuts in there, right? I don't even
There can
remember.
be.
Lo
That was
Very
discussed on
light
when they're
on the
talking about
peanuts.
the Chex Mix. Yeah, on Pack a
Right.
Day, they're talking about that if that has a place there. So I mean, that's the thing is there are many
Just a
varieties of
little.
Chex Mix at this point. So
Mhm, mhm.
Mhm.
Do you make yours at home, or do
No,
you
I
buy
mean
yours on the bag?
I haven't had Chex Mix in a long time actually. For me, it's one of those things
Same.
that's like you're on a road trip and you're stopping at the gas station for snacks. It's one I might grab. You know,
Yeah,
it's
out of the
good.
bag.
Good
Yeah,
down on the road. Yeah, out of
yeah,
the bag food for
yeah,
sure.
yeah. Alrighty, Maddie. I did recently when I was at my mother's and I was starving to death because I was running around like a maniac. Um,
Mhm.
she would have cereal sometimes for breakfast. I was making her eggs and all that stuff, but sometimes she would want cereal, and she had whatever raisin bran, crunchy raisin bran or something like that. And like one day
Mhm.
I was so hungry and desperate, I had it too with my almond milk. I'm like,
Mhm. Mhm.
this is kind of yummy and
Kinda
crunchy
good.
and sweet.
Yep.
And so when I came home, I'm like, I think I'm going to try some cereal that's vegan and keto, not like super carby and sugary. And I got some Chex, keto version Chex.
Hmm.
It's okay.
Any
I
good?
don't eat it
Just
with
okay.
milk. I
Yeah.
don't like the idea of putting milk on stuff and having it get all soggy. It's kind of gross.
Yeah, I get
But
that. The texture
just
gets bad
having
fast.
but having it
Yeah.
just to snack on, it's like this isn't bad.
Yeah.
But they're
Yeah.
really hard. They're not like real Chex.
Mhm.
So I tried it.
Should I do my next one then?
Yes,
All right. All
yes,
right.
please save me.
So my second superlative for this week is best new show. Dawn, there's a new show this week. Did you hear about this?
Shut
Um,
up. No.
there is a new show, and it's called Coast to Coast Packers with a friend of the show, Amr Desai, with a dude who I was not familiar with. So I'm starting to follow him on Twitter. His name is Bernie Bango. So the thing that like I think the fan base has come to see recently is that Amr he's a really smart dude. He's got a lot of interesting opinions,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of good takes,
Mm-hmm.
and with a great delivery. He's fiery, he's funny, he's quick witted.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm glad that Game on Wisconsin. It's a Game on Wisconsin show. I'm glad that the Game on Wisconsin guys
Okay.
are like, we need to get Amr a show, and so he's awesome on there like always. And his co-host, again, this dude Bernie Bango, has a good energy. They play off each other nicely. I'm really excited to see like them develop the show, develop their voices, develop their chemistry and stuff like that, but a really promising start for that. So that's on it's a live show like most of the Game on Wisconsin stuff is, and I think they go live on Monday nights, if I remember correctly. But of course they also, like we do, release the audio to podcast platforms afterwards. So it's another good show to check out. I think it has a lot of I'm really excited to see like how much it grows. I think it's got a high ceiling. Let's put it that way. What I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I like it. I saw it somewhere. I don't know if I saw it when I was going for my podcast and it came up as a pop-up, or if I saw it on Twitter. But I didn't know it was Amr. He's so smart. He's so fun.
Yeah.
And Bernie Bango, what a name. Is that his real name?
I don't know. He only came on my radar this week, so it's a great. If it's his real name, it's a great name. If it's a
great
if it's a Nom Day podcast, then it's great. I love it.
Exactly. Okay, so
What do you got for
my
next one?
next one is most mature reflection. I don't know, that's not the greatest name. And this goes to Big B.
All
Big
right.
B. Okay, I'm just going to read it. Big B was reflecting. And for those of you who don't know, Big B is like all of 18 years old now, right?
Yep.
So
17 or
here's
18,
what he
yeah.
said.
Mhm.
Yeah, he's 17 or 18. Here's what he said. He said, 3 years ago today, I was diagnosed with T-cell lymphoma. Never thought in a million years I would have cancer. Of course, he would have been like 15 or 14 years old, mind you,
Yeah.
when this was devastating news for us. And he's come through it really well. But anyway, he says, at one point I was taking 25 or more pills a day. I couldn't walk. I needed to be lifted out of a chair and needed my legs picked up one by one to go upstairs by my mom. And I barely ate anything because of how sick I was. Of course, he didn't share that at the time. He was very stoic about it.
Yeah.
He said, this entire process pushed me and my family's limits and comfort zones, especially early on in the process, but I wouldn't change a second of it. He said, I met some amazing people, got to do some amazing things, and a lot of opportunities opened up because of it. And he said, I want to thank you guys for all the support because I wouldn't have made it through without you. And I seriously mean that. What a tearjerker. What a mature reflection. Yeah. It's kind of unfortunate that he had to get put in that position, but it really does show you that when you're challenged, even at a young age, you can handle it in so many different ways. And you can learn from it and you can grow from it, which is what he chose to do. And I just love that for him. I love that for him. And of course, he's a friend of the show. He's come on a couple of times with Joey to help me out when you've been on vacation. I love their podcast and I love those guys. And that was, his little 3-year anniversary. What a big difference 3 years has made for him. And it's just so heartwarming.
Yeah, I feel like we've seen him kind of like continue to grow and develop as a person, as a podcaster, as a voice, so for him to like take that minute to like, say those things, that's huge. I'm gonna have to make sure to go back and find that tweet for sure. Big B's a good dude. He's been on the show 3 times actually, more than almost anybody else. He and Joey both 2 times each, in fact. Up there with, I don't know, like Katie. That's probably about it. Those 2 are the people who've been on the show the most. But anyhow, no, that's awesome. Mad respect for Big B. Very cool.
Yeah, love it. Thank you for sharing that, Big B, and sharing your journey. Maddie, what do you have next?
Yeah, so my last superlative of the week is best analysis, and I'm just so happy that this article came across my radar this week. I'm seeing radar a lot today, but whatever. And so this is Mike Kawano, who we got to get on the show at some point. He wrote an article for his website that he has with our friend Iowa Joe Pearson, and the article has a great title. It's Schrodinger's Playbook or Occam's Game Plan. And so this is talking about a lot of the problems the receivers have faced for the Packers this year has been because, well, I don't want to get into it too much because Mike writes about it more eloquently than I can say it, but it comes down to like the playbook was of a certain complexity because we didn't think we'd have to have like the rookie receivers in there as much initially, but then with Romeo Doubs and Christian Watson being injured with hamstring stuff early in the season, suddenly we had this complicated playbook that the rookies hadn't really fully learned yet, and we're trying to make it work. But so then it's like, well, okay, we need to pull it back and make it more simple. But when you make it more simple, that causes other problems. And so trying to find that balance somewhere in the middle has been really tough for the team. And that's part of what has led to like a lot of our struggles on offense and probably like games we should have won and could have won if like we didn't have some of those like little issues in there. So, I mean, Mike's a super smart guy. And I feel like people who know him, like know how awesome he is, but I feel like he's largely like not as well known as he should be given how smart and just like just what a good dude he is. So would highly recommend folks check that out. I'm hoping to see Mike post a lot more stuff like that because he like really smart, really good writer. This is an excellent kind of look under the hood in some of this stuff, and highly recommend it. Great work, Mike.
I will check that out for sure, because I was looking for some content today. I was trying to work on one of my projects and I wanted to listen, and it's like, I want something new. I want something different. I was having a hard time adjusting from the big verdict on Monday. It was very emotional for all of us who, and can you just imagine how emotional it was for the people really involved, like firsthand. But it was just a really weird kind of shift. And then the weather, not the weather, the time change and all of that shift. And then all of a sudden I'm starting to feel a little bit better. So I'm moving around more. So it's just like, it's chaotic. It's been a little chaotic. I'm going to own that. So my final, so I missed out on a lot of content and I was kind of looking for something new. So I love that. I'm going to and I like their rebranding of their podcast, Joe and Mike, and all of that. So I got to get on board with that on my playlist, my regular playlist. So my final superlative is most just, and this is about the true crime side of me. And I mentioned it earlier. It's guilty on all 3 counts, Florida versus Charles Adelson. And that's all I'm going to say, because I've mentioned it on the show before, but it was a big deal. And you can ask me anything you want, but it's over. And that was like the biggest trial that I was like, it's not that it was a bigger trial, but it was just the one that I've been waiting for so long, all year, even though I watch other trials, but this was a big deal for me and hundreds and thousands of people. So the jury got it right. There's always a worry. It's always a worry, you know. Of course there's going to be appeals and this and that, but it's a sad thing too, because I don't, everyone has their own way of dealing with things, but I don't take pleasure in knowing that this man has ruined his life. And he's going to prison for the rest of his life. He's never getting out. It's Florida, so there's no chance of parole. It's life. It's life, no parole. That's it. And then, of course, they got the plus 30 for conspiracy and plus 30 for whatever the other one, which all the other ones have also gotten so far. It's been guilty, guilty, guilty. And there's still 3 more people to go that were involved in this. And it was extraordinarily heavy and sad. I know a lot of people aren't sad, they don't feel that side, and that's okay. But I feel, because I'm such an empath, I feel it for everybody. I feel it for everybody. He definitely deserved it. It's unfortunate he couldn't, go to the state of Florida and just like come clean and help them with the rest of the whole story. But he just, he didn't. He thought he could win, because he had a lot of money and expensive lawyers. And so it was reassuring to know that he wasn't able to buy himself out of this, because there are 3 people that are already in prison for this. And they are people that he exploited, promised money to do the crime, and they needed money, and they were, people that didn't have what he had. And so he exploited other people to do this murder. And so it's just a sad story all the way around. It's just a sad statement on what's happening in our society all over, all the time. And so it was important and emotional, and but it was done. So I'll stop talking about it now on our podcast.
They were a different trial instead. It's great. I love it.
Oh God. I'll go back to the NFL crimers. Oh my gosh. There's so many. So many.
There are. Yeah.
But it did bring out some of my creativity. I think you saw a couple. Because I wasn't able to do live streams and my throat was sore. It's still sore. Whatnot. I couldn't even talk. But I was like, I'm going to make some creative videos. And so that was kind of fun to do, just to spend my time being creative and expressing how I felt in a more visual form, which is what I like to do. Yeah. And I never have been one to make a lot of videos or anything. So that's kind of a new medium for me. It's fun.
I love that. Yeah. Experimenting with new medium is a good time for sure.
Yeah. And then putting my little voice in on some of it,
That's right.
So that was kind of fun.
Yeah.
kind of
So I'm going to
interesting,
really
right?
quickly highlight a comment we have here. Our friend Iowa Joe, who
Yeah.
we were just mentioning, who has the Ohana Packers Edition podcast with Mike
Mm-hmm.
Kawano said, hey, thanks for the shout out for Mike's article. He's doing great things. He
Mm-hmm.
is smart dude. So
Mm-hmm.
Joe, glad you're here, man. I don't know you were in the background there. So glad to have you.
We love
All right,
Joe.
Don. Well, anything else
Yeah.
tonight?
No, Maddie, I think it's time we bring her home. I am just delighted we got to spend some time with Jasmine.
Mm-hmm.
Called her
Jasmine.
Jasmine. I love her so much.
Mhm.
I can tell
Okay.
that, yeah, I need to spend some time with her. Hopefully we can next year sometime.
That's right.
It'll be great.
Striking distance from you. It's true. All right. Well,
Yeah.
friends. Of course, you'll find links in our show description for everyone we mentioned, so please check it out. Also, we'd love to have a chance to interview you and shout you out if you're a subscriber and a football fan. If you'd like to nominate someone to be a guest on our podcast, please let us know. Our DMs are open on all the social platforms. And folks, when you subscribe to our podcast, you help us to keep spreading the love in our community. And the best way to help this podcast grow, please, is by sharing it with your friends and family.
Yes, Maddie, that's right. Because we love you. We're so glad to know you, to be fans of you, and have the luxury of being fans of the most storied team in the NFL. We appreciate your support, your subscriptions, and sharing our pod. And we look forward to seeing you next week on.
Yay, we like your pod.
Football in general comes down to discipline and people owning their roles. And when you aren't disciplined or you go outside the scheme, bad stuff happens.